There are a ton of common pain points in a real estate transaction. It all depends on how you handle it, and honestly, just being prepared, because if you're in a situation where you overlook stuff, it could cause problems down the line. And we're talking all the way from, missing chattels in a deal, up to, potential, wrong surveys being put on a listing, or giving the wrong information on MLS to people. And I know we have insurance, and I know that, we're easily protected, but you never want to go down that road. Okay, so what I would say is the most common pain point as a listing agent, I would have to say, is when you're dealing with a client who, for example, you've been on the market for X amount of time and you're going for a price change. People hate price changes. It's not an easy topic to talk about. You're sitting there telling a client that their home is not worth what they maybe believed it was, or what you quoted the house to be worth. That's probably the hardest part of a transaction, of breaking through that ice. But I think when your clients trust you, they will see the bigger picture, and they will see that you're working as hard as you can. But there are a lot of sacrifices just in general of being a real estate agent or a real estate broker. If you're gonna be someone who wants to succeed, and you wanna be someone who wants to be at the top of your game, it's very important to understand that in real estate, it's not a 9-to-5 job. You're literally 24/7. And when I say that, I'm available for my clients all the time. I think that's why I've been able to succeed in this business. My commitment level is unmatched. I've sacrificed a lot in my time. And again, we go back to saying, as a 20-year-old kid getting into the business, I sacrificed many things, in this last 15 years. Picture being a 21-year-old where, your girlfriend's going up to the cottage and friends are going up there and they're going to go spend the long weekend there, but you got to work because you got showings and you have clients to attend to. This is what I say. It's very easy to kind of say, push things back. Oh, that can happen tomorrow. But the people who are saying that can happen tomorrow are not getting stuff done today. And then the guys like me are coming in and getting the job done today. So it's very important to be accessible for your clients. That's the one thing that I would say is the toughest part about being in real estate if you want to be a top producer. Time. We never have enough of it. And now I sit here 15 years later with a wife and 2 kids, and there's times where I'll be working 12 hours, then I'll get home and then the phone's still ringing, but you have a family to get to. So you got to have a lot of balance in this business. You got to know how to allot your time properly, because before you know it, the day passes you by, and maybe you're not able to do some of the things that normally you would like to do. So just time is very important in this business. So the question, about being a top producer, what is someone's thoughts about being a top producer? To some people, it may be 10 deals. To some people, it may be 50 deals. So it all depends on who you talk with. But to be inside the top, let's say 1% of the 50,000 realtors, I would like to think that, I can check the stats on this, but I'd like to think that you got to be in the $250,000 a year in up range, which, depending on what kind of properties you sell and what area you're working out of, it will vary on how many deals that amounts to. I'd say getting into the market, that's the number one tip. I have a lot of first-time buyers who've been sitting on the fence, and you just hear this in the public, and I see it a lot, especially on my social media pages, where people are saying, oh, this is overpriced. I'll wait till the market drops to get into the market. And these are the same people who have been saying this for the last 10 years. And if you look at what historically the numbers have done, you've lost a lot of money if you haven't got into the market. So I tell first-time home buyers, find the product that you like, depending on whether you're buying it as an investment or you're buying it as end use, then that would play a differentiating factor at that point. Because if it's an investment standpoint, you're just looking at what's my ROI at the end of the month, my return on investment after all my expenses and what I'm renting the property out for, and what's the potential for growth in that product in value rising. If you're buying it as an end user, then you're obviously buying on location and what suits your needs. But no matter what, I would just turn around and say, get into the market, because once you're in, you're in. Now you're playing field. So if you're gonna sell that condo in the future to get up to another product, it'll all be relative, because you're gaining value here and you may be buying something here after, but you're building equity. Get into the market. Yes, I do personally invest in real estate. I think people who invest in real estate and build portfolios are the people who are going to be able to achieve financial freedom the easiest. And long-term with real estate, as long as you can afford to hold on to a property, you'll be fine. A lot of people who get burned in the real estate market when it comes to investing are people who are buying on speculation and short-term flips. If you're buying a home to say, I'm gonna sell it in a year from now, there's potential with a shakeup in the market where you can lose money, because there's costs going into this investment. Every time you sell a property, there's commissions that you have to worry about. When you're buying a property, there's land transfer tax that you have to worry about. There's potential mortgage penalties that you may have to deal with in selling a property fairly quickly. So I think as an investor, if you look to build a portfolio as a long-term play, 5 to 10 year play, real estate, no matter what, always does this. It goes up, but then it comes down a bit, but then it goes back up. And it comes down a little bit more, but then it goes back even higher. So just be able to maintain that property, and as long as you can maintain to make those payments and hold it as long as you can. So there's 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week. That means 168 hours. I don't work 168 because I sleep on average 5 hours a day. Let's take that 30 hours, 30 to 40 hours off for sleep. Take that off the 168. I'm at about 120 to 128 hours a week. You're probably saying, Mark, you're crazy, but guys, I work from the moment my eyes open to the moment my eyes close, because that means that I'm on call. I can always have to be prepared to take that phone call, because you never know when the next lead is going to be calling you. And in real estate, you have to be available. So people who think that they're just going to come into this business and work 30 hours a week, you can. And I'm not saying you make a good living working, I don't want to say part-time hours, but a regular 40-hour week, you could do it. But sky's the limit in this business. You get what you put in. And for me, I work open to shut. That's the way it happens. How many meals does Lisa eat a day? I don't know, maybe somewhere between 8 to 12 snacks. So when it comes to evaluating a home with us, it's fairly simple. It's a free process. As long as someone is willing to provide us with all their contact information, we'd be happy to come out to a property and evaluate it. And then we can decide also, if you're looking to buy a property, we'd be more than happy to work with you on the buying side. Our team is available 24 hours a day. Home evaluations are free, and we'd love to provide you with those. My key to success, I believe, is my will to win and my will to do well for others. Availability is a very big part of that. I keep talking about it. I work from open to close, which means that to that, okay? In real estate, you gotta be available all the time. For me, I'm always trying to look at what is the next best thing. What can I do more to make myself stand out and my listings stand out? The name of the game in real estate is getting as many eyes on the prize, which is the house, as possible, because then you're giving your clients the most opportunities to sell and for as much money as possible. So we've done so many different things when it comes to listings. Every house is different on what it needs. Some need more, some need less. But as you guys can see, if you've been following me for a while, we're doing 2-3 videos for a house. We're doing drone photos. We're doing full video. We're doing photos. We're doing floor plans. We're doing 3D tours. We're doing twilight photos. We're doing everything that we can. And then on top of it, we're putting that into our back-end system and our marketing, machine, if you want to call it. And then we get it out to our properties. We will go to any length to get a listing sold, and sold for top dollar. I try not to pay too much attention to it, to be honest with you. I've always been the type of guy that I keep my head straight and I focus on what is going to better myself. The second you start trying to compare yourself to others and worry about what other people are doing, you start falling behind. So if there are going to be people out there hating on us, listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. If you're at a point where you're being hated on, you're doing something right, because jealousy's in the air, you can tell. Okay, and it's just one of those things that just keep your eyes on the prize, and your eyes on the prize is your business. Outside noise is always going to be there. I really don't pay too much attention to it. That's just the completely honest truth. TikTok is amazing, okay? And I get really excited about this, and mind the swearing, guys. They always say that people who swear are a little bit more truthful and honest, and I'd like to think that I fall into that category, but TikTok has been incredible. Again, I've been on the platform, let's say solid now for about 4 months, 45,000 followers. We've had 1 million plus viral videos, and this is all housing related. 95% of it is. We have a couple of funnier videos in between, but they all have to do with housing at the end of the day. And I love TikTok's platform. The one thing I love about it the most is the ability to share. Instagram, for example, you can only share within the platform. TikTok, you can go to the share button, send it as a text message, WhatsApp, you can send it to Instagram. It just goes everywhere. So the ability to go viral on TikTok is huge. My first viral video that I had on TikTok, I actually only had, I think it was maybe 300 or 800 followers, and I had a video that went for 1 million views. That one video got me 5,000 followers. So I'm at a point right now where our videos are averaging anywhere from 20 to a million views. So you can't get that on Instagram. That's why I've been putting a little bit more work into TikTok in the last little bit. I believe that TikTok will take over Instagram, at least for my business. And believe it or not, we've been getting leads through the platform. So if you're still sleeping on TikTok and you're a business owner, try and get on there, try and get your niche on TikTok and make it work, because the platform is amazing. I would suggest that every new person to real estate shadows somebody. Try and get on a team, and don't think about the money when you start in this business. If you're coming into this for the money, you should probably get out. But I would say a new agent, the best thing to do would be to shadow an experienced broker or salesperson, if they would allow you to. And usually you'd have to go on a team for that. And look, you may be doing things that you would normally not want to do, but you got to pay your dues in this business. And the most important thing about being a new agent is getting knowledge. So if you can gain the knowledge first and the know-how, the money will come at the end of the day. Don't be focused on the money where you're saying, well, I don't want to do an open house because it doesn't pay me. That mentality is wrong. And I tell my team members, for example, do you know how many deals I've converted through open houses? Because people are actually able to, I'm getting floor time. And as a new agent, you're not in a position where you have an abundance of leads coming in at all. You're sitting there waiting, when's the next person going to call me? But if you're in front of people at open houses, for example, now even if there's 2 people that came in, those 2 people that you get to talk about real estate, that you didn't have that opportunity. So just learn the know-hows of the business. Guys, 15 years into this business, I'm still putting directional signs down at my properties. I'm still going to put lock boxes down at my properties. I know how to do every facet of my business. When I first took over this brokerage, I had to rebrand this from scratch. My father had this company where it was a business card and he only sold land from the mid-80s. So, at 24 years old, taking over as a broker of a company that really, I don't want to say wasn't established, it just wasn't established in the residential sector. I had to rebrand everything to the point where I was taking appointments when I first started because I didn't have the proper system set up, writing appointments down myself, confirming appointments, cutting checks, doing all the admin work so I can give you every facet of it. When you are well-rounded and you know how to do everything, it will make you a stronger realtor.